Cultural projects like New York's Lincoln Center have become another widespread single-use concept adopted by American city planners in lots of places. Once again, the ideal is to put things into neat packages, give concert halls and theaters a monumental setting, cut them off from the normal flow of city life by parks and malls. The result? It looks fine, but most of the day its handsome spaces are likely to be deserted because there's nothing to draw people there except perhaps the business of buying tickets. Compare this with old Carnegie Hall on the corner of 57th Street, one of the liveliest crossroads in town. Within half a block are hamburger joints open all the time and exotic restaurants priced to match. If one doesn't suit your palate or your pocketbook, there are a dozen more. The Carnegie Corner is an artist's world. Many live here. But you don't have to be an artist to enjoy it. Perhaps many of those who keep its shops and eating places open don't come to hear a concert. Close by are book and record shops. Specialty shops of the greatest variety. Within one block are several art movie houses. Like Rockefeller Center, there's something around Carnegie Corner for almost everybody. Carnegie's main auditorium is judged an acoustical marvel. Yet when Philharmonic Hall at Lincoln Center was open, this whole complex would have been destroyed to make room for one more sleek office building tower if thousands of New Yorkers who loved it hadn't raised a howl. So it remains, a cultural center that's in the city, part of the city, not isolated from it. When a city has many hundreds of thousands of people in it, or several million for that matter, it's just naturally overwhelming to the individual. The word is vast. No matter how well designed its buildings are for high density, no matter how efficient its transportation system, we all feel at times that we're not much more than the raw material for a giant processing machine. We begin to suspect that the city is not only without consideration, but without memory. Sometimes you feel if you literally went up in smoke, nobody would stop reading his newspaper long enough to notice the spectacular event. Oh yes, the city does respect our privacy. But before long we begin to wonder, does that mean simply that nobody cares? People talk about something they call human scale, which means a size where the human being doesn't feel overwhelmed, insignificant, ignored, where he feels he belongs. The function of the neighborhood becomes more and more important as the city gets larger. Human beings can cope with the vastness of the city as a whole if, as a frame of reference, they have a locality where they live and spend some basic hours, which has enough of a distinct coloration, character, and familiarity to make them feel that they have roots of their own, that they are not merely floating specks of anonymous humanity in an endless sea of similar floating specks. If our homes are impersonal modern towers, we have a particular need for neighborhood identity, a chance to pass each day and savor the special color without which any neighborhood, however sanitary and well-designed for amenities, soon becomes a sort of desert. Town planners have a special obligation to preserve and encourage the singular qualities of neighborhoods and districts. These are, in good part, what makes cities have personality. But more important, when people are in a part of town they feel is theirs, they are more likely to lose their big city hardness, their defensiveness. They can be more human with visitors and with one another. People can wait more patiently for fame, be less desperate in their search for fortune, if they live where they feel known and welcomed. People need places to which they can attach themselves. It can be a laundromat, a corner store, a restaurant, or a tavern. Preserving these places gets scant consideration from most redevelopers, yet they are often close to the heart of a neighborhood. It would be tragic to the soul of America if our cities, in their headlong attempt to rebuild everything alike, to treat everybody alike, should lose the flavor and variety of their neighborhoods. People are different, bless them. And when neighborhoods reflect these differences, they take hold of the affections of their inhabitants, arousing loyalties and attachments that mean more than anything else in determining human scale. Human scale means human love, and you can't get that with a bulldozer. Well, the simple answer to all this is that there is no simple answer. What's right for one street, one neighborhood, is not right for another. Where we get into trouble in trying to save our cities from chaos and congestion is when we apply blanket remedies, overall solutions guaranteed to cure all ills. It just won't work. Those of us who love the city will just have to learn to look close, to think hard about density, about variety, about human scale, before we can hope to find solutions that will preserve those things about the city that we love. We've got to use our own eyes to see what our city needs. Be understanding about the ways that people live and want to live. We've got to begin thinking about our cities not only in terms of design, dollars, and delinquency, but in terms of human love. We might as well, because the way things look up to now, the future of our cities is far too precarious for us to leave all the decisions to the experts.
Future programs in this series will ask such vital questions as, why are more and more people in our cities housed in economic and racial ghettos? Is the flight to suburbia really producing inferior citizens? Can the ordinary citizen do anything positive about urban renewal? Must we sacrifice everything we love to keep our cities prosperous? Can Americans learn to live in cities and like it? Are booming cities squandering our resources? With events moving so fast, can any plan survive the times?
This is NET, National Educational Television.